For millennia, humanity has chased the ultimate limit, pure speed. To be the fastest, to outrun all others, is a primal quest etched into our very DNA. In 1988, at the Seoul Olympic Games, the pinnacle of this pursuit arrived. The men's 100-meter final. 8 extraordinary specimens, poised to redefine human capability. But beneath the dazzling spectacle, a hidden war was being waged, a battle against the very integrity of sport itself. The 1988 100-meter final is often referred to by historians as the dirtiest race in history. While Johnson was the only one disqualified immediately after the race, 5 of the 8 finalists eventually tested positive for or were implicated in the use of performance-enhancing drugs at various points in their careers. September 24, 1988. Seoul, South Korea. The atmosphere in the Olympic Stadium is electric, heavy with the weight of expectation. Millions of years of human evolution have led to this singular moment. 60,000 fans and a global audience of billions waiting to witness the absolute limit of biological velocity. At the center of this storm stands a man who appears less like an athlete and more like a force of nature, Ben Johnson.
Johnson does it again! Unbelievable! 9.79!
A Canadian sprinter of unprecedented explosive power. In a mere 9.79 seconds, he would dismantle the world record, claiming Olympic gold and the title of the fastest human being ever to walk the earth. But this was a victory that would send shockwaves far beyond the finish line. What appeared to be a triumph of the human spirit was in reality a masterclass in chemical deception. The Ben Johnson anabolic scandal would become a watershed moment in the history of our species' competitive drive, a dark evolution that transformed the world of sport forever. If Johnson was the villain, the world assumed the others were the victims. But as the decades passed, the dirtiest race earned its title, not because of one man, but because of the culture of the entire field. Of the 8 finalists who stood on that track, 6 would eventually be linked to performance-enhancing drugs. Linford Christie tested positive for stimulants in Seoul, but was cleared on benefit of the doubt. Years later, tested positive for nandrolone. Carl Lewis, the man who inherited the gold, it was later revealed he had failed 3 drug tests for stimulants during the U.S. Olympic trials, tests that were quietly overturned by officials to allow him to compete. Dennis Mitchell, later banned for high testosterone, famously blaming the result on sex with his wife. Desai Williams admitted under oath at the Dubin inquiry that he, too, was part of a systematic doping program. Calvin Smith, he is the only one in the top 5 who never failed a test, never faced a scandal. Amidst the chemical warfare of the 1988 final, one man stood as a testament to the original Olympic ideal. Calvin Smith finished 4th that day, later elevated to bronze. He never held the world's gaze like Johnson or Lewis, but in the eyes of history, he remains the true victor. He represents the silent casualty of an era where winning at any cost meant losing the very soul of the sport.